There are faces the world forgets, and there are faces that refuse to be left behind. This story begins, as many unsettling tales do, with a man who looked too closely at the past. London, 1902. A young photographer named Alistair Finch develops a plate from a busy street market. The image is a symphony of motion. Vendors shouting, children chasing pigeons, a horse-drawn cart blurring past. He is about to discard it as a failed shot, a moment lost to imperfection. But his eye catches something. In the chaotic swirl, standing beside a fruit stall, is a woman. Her stillness is a stark contrast to the life around her. Dark dress, hands clasped neatly, her gaze piercing the lens as if she knew he was there. A century later, looking back, Alistair dismisses it as a trick of the light, an anomaly. He files the plate away. 5 years later, New York City, 1907. He is on assignment, capturing the construction of a new skyscraper. Men hang precariously from steel beams against the sky. Later, in the darkroom, the city's raw ambition materializes in silver nitrate, and he sees her there, on the street below the towering structure, amidst a crowd of onlookers. Same woman, same posture, same direct, knowing stare. She has not aged a single day. Alistair feels a cold dread bloom in his chest. He compares the two photographs, the London market and the New York street. It is impossible, a coincidence too perfect, too unnerving. He burns both negatives, hoping to burn the memory with them. But the face did not belong to Alistair. It belonged to the camera. Over the decades, she became a whisper in the footnotes of history, a ghost in the machine of memory. Investigators poring over evidence from a high society scandal in the 1920s noticed her in the background of a party photograph, watching the oblivious guests with an unnerving calm. Soldiers sharing battlefield pictures from the Second World War would fall silent, pointing to a figure standing untouched near a bombed-out building, her gaze fixed forward while the world fell apart. Amateur sleuths and collectors of strange artifacts traded grainy copies, calling her the Watcher or the Timeless Lady. She was a myth, a campfire story for those who dwelled in the dusty corners of the past. In the 1960s, a historian named Dr. Arthur Kendrick became obsessed. He was a man of logic, a debunker of myths, dedicated to the concrete and provable. The story of the woman in the photographs was an intellectual challenge, a puzzle of misidentification and doctored images he was determined to solve. Kendrick spent years gathering every known sighting, cross-referencing dates, locations, and photographers. He built a fortress of reason against the tide of superstition, his office walls covered in maps, timelines, and copies of her face. He argued it was a series of different women who simply shared a resemblance, a statistical inevitability. He wrote papers on the psychology of pattern recognition, on how the human mind creates connections where none exist. One evening, deep in the university archives, Kendrick was examining his own family's history. He pulled out a small, faded photograph from his grandfather's wedding in 1919. A joyful, candid moment. His family, young and full of life. His hands began to shake. There, behind the smiling bride and groom, partially obscured by a floral arrangement, was a face. The same dark dress, the same calm expression, the same eyes looking directly at him. Kendrick stumbled back from the table, a choked sound escaping his throat. The photograph fell to the floor. His fortress of logic crumbled into dust, leaving him alone in the ruins with a terrifying, impossible truth. He was not just an observer of the mystery. His own past was now haunted by it. His obsession consumed him, and he was never the same. Decades passed. The world changed. Technology evolved from silver plates to digital streams. The past was no longer stored in dusty boxers, but in vast, interconnected data clouds. In the present day, a data scientist named Elara Vance is testing a new artificial intelligence, a program codenamed Kronos, designed to sift through global image archives to find patterns and connections invisible to the human eye. She feeds it petabytes of data, digitized photos, scanned newspapers, film reels, social media, uploads a visual history of humanity from the dawn of photography. Elara asks Kronos to search for anomalies, for recurring elements that defy probability. The system processes 4 days. Then it delivers its result. A single face, detected in over 9,000 unique images. The first, a daguerreotype from Paris, 1870. The most recent, a tourist smartphone picture from Tokyo, 2020, war zones and world fairs, royal coronations and underground concerts, crowded cityscapes and desolate landscapes. The AI confirms the impossible. Her facial structure is identical in every instance. There is zero age progression. In every photograph, her gaze meets the camera. She knows she is being seen. The final image on Elira's screen is not from the past. It is a live feed, a security camera overlooking a bustling public square, time-stamped just moments ago. The footage is grainy, the crowd a moving river of anonymous people, but the AI places a small green box around one figure. It zooms in. There, you is, standing by a fountain, a statue of stillness in the modern world's chaotic flow. She looks up, not at the physical camera on the pole, but through it, directly at Elara, directly at the screen. What if she's not just in the photographs? What if she watches from every lens, every screen? What if she's watching you right now? From behind the glass, some faces fade, others never blink.